pressure is really big. We try to, embrace it, take it, and evolve this, turn this pressure into, positive energy. And this is great because such a big fan base and such a big community gives us a lot of information. So whenever we release something, we get a lot of feedback, and we know if there is still some time to adjust something. So yeah, we are really listening to our fans. But I have to admit that the pressure is kind of, it is kind of stressful, but it also makes us go to the limit and like really give everything we can to the game. I think so. I mean, we always wanted to, my colleagues who worked on previous games always wanted to make an open world game. They decided after The Witcher 2 they are ready, they have enough experience and knowledge and good people and technology to make it. It is a challenge. It is extremely hard to make an open world game, especially that we are making story-driven RPGs. We are really focused on the story, on the choices that player makes. So we had to answer the question how to make player follow the story and make the choices and follow the tasks that we want him to follow and learn the sequences. And at the same time deliver an open world, exciting, interesting environment for him to explore, to have fun basically, to hunt monsters, to travel. So this was kind of a challenge, but I think we made it pretty well. I think this is one of the main differences is that the story, that we are still story-driven. You can still make choices that really influence the world. The world changes. So yeah, it is that would be the biggest difference in my opinion. It is also very big change for us because we gave player the horse, the boat. We can dive, swim, and everything. So we have everything open. So I work every day with people who work on The Witcher 2, and I often consult them and ask them how was it with The Witcher 2, what was the difference, and I am sure it's more difficult. Creating such a huge game, at the same time sticking to our roots, to our rules, do not create like fake limitations for player. Is really challenging. Also, we have the 24-hour day cycle and dynamically changing weather, and really the world changes. So that was some of those elements were there for The Witcher 2, but they weren't that complex and that big. Also, for me as an environment art producer and level design producer, giving this total freedom is quite risky. Player can go really anywhere, and it has to look exactly as good as any other location during the day, during night, during rain, during night. All of those combinations have to be tested and prepared.
I fight for those I hold dear.
Our artistic approach to the game was, we created many concept art, many concepts that we referred to while making the game, but also we had a lot of pictures, photography, and many paintings. So we really like to get inspired by paintings to create this natural but somehow magical and mystical environment. And on top of that there comes lighting, which is also our I'm quite proud of it. And exactly what I said, that the game looks good in any condition that you can encounter there. We went through many Russian paintings, like Polish and Russian paintings, and from the area. So just to get this Slavic feeling, because this is something that is also quite unique in our game. There are many games that are fantasy RPGs and fantasy open worlds, but many of them look very similar. What we're proud of is having this Slavic feeling. This, when you actually there are places in Poland and Russia in the area that you can look at, and you look at the game and it is wow, this is the place. I was there, I know I was in a very similar place. We are listening to our fans' feedback, and we know that in The Witcher 2 combat was a little not as responsive as people would like to, and there was a lot of rolling, hitting. So we decided to change it, and now every time you press the button, there is a different hit, but you can stop it at any time you want. So there are no combos that you just triggered and you watch them until they finish. No, every time you hit a button, there is a different hit, and you can change opponents in also any different direction and any between those hits. So that's quite cool. We introduced new signs. I mean, the signs, the magical abilities of the Witcher are those basic elements that we always had, like art, igni, and other, focused on different nature power. But you also get the alternative version of it. So you can, for example, use igni to burn multiple enemies, or you can focus in one of them. You can use shield to protect you from a hit, but then you cannot hit, or just make an armor out of it. So this is also quite cool. We know that people didn't use too much bombs and alchemy in The Witcher 2, so in Wild Hunt we decided to teach player well how to do that, and also give them more possibilities to use it. So once you create a potion or a bomb, you have to refill the ingredients, but you don't have to make it all over again and over again and over again. So many players are keeping all of this for more difficult situations.
Yes.
Now you can use it more often, and you then just have to refill the ingredients and it works. Also, we introduced a lot of many enemies. So now there is also flying enemies. There are different enemies with different weapon types that you have to approach in a different way. And for flying enemies, we introduced crossbow. We had to somehow bring them down to finish them with a sword. So you get all kinds of different arrows or different bows for this crossbow. You can also customize. So yeah, there is a lot. So there are many big monsters. There are smaller monsters that you can usually meet in groups with a leader. And there are many human opponents that also are very different in approach. So if you have a two-handed enemy, it's super easy if he's alone because he's slow. But if there's a guy with a bow behind him and two guys with shields with him, the battle becomes challenging. You have to think about how to challenge him. And monsters, we have a lot of big monsters and they don't scale, so you can go right away to find a big monster and try to fight him, but it might be too early, it might be too difficult. You might have to go back, level up, get some better gear, and then come back. Yeah, there are skills you can invest it in different disciplines, like sword fighting, like alchemy, like magical abilities, and it is improved, but I'm not quite sure how it works at the moment because I was super focused on the art side. I think there are many people who are happy about it.
Yeah.
I joined the studio 2.5 years ago, so I'm not tired with The Witcher. I'm still super excited about it and working on the most anticipated game. But there are people who already finished 3 games with The Witcher. And I think that's enough. They are okay. Let's close it. Let's finish the story. Let's make it as epic and as good as possible, and move on to something else. So I think we feel good about it, and we made this. We made the Wild Hunt really intimate and about Geralt, just to finish it, just to finish the story, just to conclude it. To make your choices really matter, to meet your family, meet your friends again. You can really feel it is complete. So it is an element of life, and we always tell that and focus on that we make mature games for mature players. And I think this is an element that should be present in games in a good way, in a mature way. So we have a lot of strong female characters, that are really influential in the world, like Sources and others. And I think sex might be the element of that power, and it is there for you to explore, to make the right choices or bad choices, and take this challenge, I would say. Yeah. I love Skellige Islands, the archipelago of really Nordic islands, very natural, very wild. It's kind of, Viking environment. So I think this will be really impressive, because there are mountains, there is sea, there are storms. There is the very cool wildlife and nature. And this is something that I like in real life as well. Whenever I travel, I try to go away from civilization and get to the wild, to the nature. So for me, Skellige is the coolest. But there is no man's land, Velan, which is very Slavic and very Polish, and the great city of Novigrad, also amazing. So yeah, my favorite would be Skellige, but I'm excited about all of them. Actually, I can't wait to see players play it. I can't wait to give the game to my friends, let them play and see what they...
I need that.
yeah. And be quiet, like not tell them anything, then go there, don't go there, no. Just want to watch them explore and see how it feels. So the Wild Hunt is all about monster hunting and being a monster hunting and exploring the world in a way of a lonely hunter. I'm excited about it because it's going back to the roots of the books and of the Witcher story. So I can't wait for you guys to play it and to explore it, and let us know what you think about it.